Hi everybody, Garage Notes is back. This time around on Garage Notes, we're going to talk about a couple of things you should know as you're trying to learn scales. The truth is, it's incredibly helpful in developing your technique, understanding how songs and chords and structure of things in music in general are built. So the scales can be incredibly important. But as a beginner, the biggest thing that we're trying to learn with the scales is simply how to manipulate the strings on the guitar so we can get the best sound, a note or notes that are in tune, in time, and loud and clean and clear. So let's start with the first thing, the most important thing, and that is to go slow. Take your time and make sure that you're using your fingertips, that the notes are clean and they are the correct ones. Staying on your fingertips allows you to press with the least amount of energy. Later on, that's going to help you increase your speed. But right now, we're trying to build muscle memory, so we want everything to be right. Which scale should you learn first? That's easy. It's the major scale. The reason why? It's the scale that we base everything on. We talk about minor scales or other scales in general. We always talk about them in the ways that they are different from the major scale. We also build chord structures and key structures and song architecture using the using the major scale. All right, so let's learn one. We'll learn the C major scale. First note is C. Second note is D. Here's E for the number 3, the 4, and the 5. That's F and G. A is number 6. B is number 7. And then number 8 is back to C. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a great idea as you learn this scale, going slowly of course, that you say the numbers or the notes out loud. You want to say the notes because you want to know what notes are in that scale. You want to practice with the numbers because you want to know the position that you're in as you play the scale. So if I do this, I want to know that that's the 5th note, just by habit. And that's the 7th note. That becomes handy when you build chords because, for instance, a chord might be built 1, 3, 5, 7. That's the 1st note, the 3rd note, the 5th note, and the 7th note. We want to know what those are. Once you can play the scale physically, you're going to want to incorporate a metronome. And initially, the metronome will seem like a taskmaster. But it doesn't take long before it becomes a partner as you play music. Keeps you on time, allows you to anticipate things that are going to happen. It's an incredibly important tool. Luckily, you don't have to spend a lot of money on metronome. There are a ton of apps out there, many of them free. You want to start slow, 60, 65 beats per minute, and link up with the scale at that tempo. As you become comfortable with that initial starting point, then you're going to gradually increase your tempo. Not just every day, but during the practice session. So, if your ceiling is 70 beats per minute, and you start at 55 beats per minute, do 5 minutes at that tempo, increase it to 60, then 5 minutes at that tempo, and gradually work your way up to 70. The next day, start at 60 beats per minute and work your way up to 75. It doesn't take very long before you're zooming up and down that scale with the metronome. Just take your time and gradually increase. You'll find that this works really well for building speed and stamina and accuracy. The last tip for today is to make sure that you practice one scale at a time. Like I said, start with the major scale because the terminology for all the other scales is based on that. But if you play the harmonic minor on Tuesday and the melodic minor on Wednesday, that's great. But don't mix those two because we're trying to build muscle memory for each one. And two scales like that in particular, they're very, very similar. It's easy to get them confused. So one scale a day. Build your practice sessions in whatever way makes sense to you based on the amount of time that you have. But only do one per day. Thanks for watching.